Welcome to Technology Tuesday. Today we are jumping into the fast-paced world of tech-powered logistics, the systems and technologies that keep goods moving across cities, countries, continents, and more. From tracking parcels in real time to using data to predict demand before it happens, logistics is one of the most innovative sectors out there. You might be surprised, I think we've done some myth busting this week, but you might still be surprised to hear that technologies like AI, robotics, drones, and smart warehouses are already a huge part of how things get delivered, whether it's food to the supermarkets or trainers to your door. Some warehouses use things like robot arms that pick and pack orders and self-driving vehicles within the warehouse. And indeed outside of the warehouse being tested to make deliveries even more efficient. So today we are joined by three grads working in digital roles within logistics. They're going to be talking about what they do, how they got into it, and what it's like to be part of a sector that never stands still. So if you're into tech, problem solving, or just curious about how the world works behind the scenes, you are in the right place. Let's get started. Florrie, welcome. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, so my name is Florrie, and I'm a first-year graduate on the Digital and Technology graduate scheme here at DHL. And my current and first placement is in the Ecom Retail Consumer Convenience Business Unit. Bit of a mouthful, that one. But my role is kind of broken up, I guess, into three streams. So a lot of it is working on implementing warehouse management systems and yard management systems into sites. And as you mentioned about the whole digital technology and innovation, we're actually working on implementing automated gatehouse into one of our sites currently. So that just involves on my side a lot of project management work, testing and configuration and all the good stuff basically. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's the first one that I do. The second one is my supply chain. So I'm implementing that and onboarding customers for my supply chain. A little bit about that. It's a DHL solution, and it's focused on giving the customers real-time access to their tracking, their orders, and so they basically can see where all of their information is and get real-time access to all of that. And I would say the third and probably the most prominent one for me at the moment, what I'm doing day to day is building reports for our team. And I would say Power BI, if you know what Power BI is. If you don't worry. Once you get into the corporate world, you'll become very familiar with it. But so I'm working on that, and I'm basically building financial reports, future reports, and any past trends. So that's kind of my day to day. And yeah, that's a bit about what I do at DHL and how I got into logistics. I didn't really choose a career in logistics. I kind of fell into it. The scheme is actually what brought me into it, I would say, rather than logistics itself. But I quickly found how important and how interesting logistics is, especially in the field of technology. And yeah, that is a bit about me and what I do and how I got into the company. But yeah.
Thank you. That sounds fantastic. So automated gatehouses without people, where lorries can open the barrier because they're being expected, and that's all scanned in digitally.
Yes.
And My DHL, that is a system for customers like us when we buy things from clothing shops, or is it for big companies who, like, I don't know, who own supermarkets, or is it a bit of both?
So my supply chain is basically
my supply chain.
Yes.
There we go. Get it right. Get it right.
So my supply chain is basically more for customers, and they can see their warehouse, transport, and basically any real-time information. So it's always normally it wouldn't be for your day-to-day customer or tracking any orders like that. It is for big customers and clients that they have in the warehouse itself.
So they can see exactly how many boxes of chocolates or pairs of trainers they've got left and order more for that particular warehouse if they need it.
Yes, and it's interesting.
Demand planning and forecasting are words that we have learnt over the course of this week so far. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Marcus,
no worries.
Welcome. Tell us a bit about you.
Hello, my name is Marcus Joseph. I'm an IT grad. I'm currently doing the digital technology placement as well, just like Florrie. The job that I do at DHL at the moment, so I look after all the IT products and all the IT systems. So what I do on a typical day to day, I make sure everybody that owns a product or a system is keeping this register filled in. So for example, it would be like a phone book. So everyone needs to make sure that all the details are updated or correct on that register. What made me get into logistics? I kind of fell into the role a little bit like Flory, but I was quite interested because obviously DHL is a global company and you see them everywhere you go. So obviously that would be somewhere I'd like to obviously join. So this is why I'm here now. Um, and I would say what I enjoy most about working in logistics is I just love that there's a lot of traveling involved when you see also different perspectives on things. Obviously, for me, I'm from a small island, so my perspective is very small on things. But seeing how different people, even in smaller villages, may have a similar perspective to other people in the UK. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. So yeah.
I love that global focus. Now you're going to have to tell us, why is it important to keep your register up to date?
Well, there's multiple reasons why you need to keep this up to date, but definitely for visibility perspective, because
Mhm.
if someone wants to come in and have a look and see, okay, for example, the product, let's call the product X. If I want to know who's the owner of the product X, where is this product being held? You don't want the register to be incorrectly updated and you are emailing or messaging the wrong person about something that either they previously worked on or they just don't work in the company at all. So you may not even get access to that person. So that's like the main reason for
Mm.
visibility and access to the owner of the product
And,
or
and
system.
all of those products help keep the supply chain moving. So make sure we've
Yes,
got the right thing in the right place at the right time. And obviously, if something
exactly.
goes wrong or something new is needed, that's when you need your register to be up to date. Got you.
Exactly.
Thank
Yes.
you very much. And
Worries?
Catherine, welcome. Tell us a bit about you.
Hi, thank you. So I'm Catherine. I'm currently a second year IT graduate within DHL supply chain. So I've been on the scheme for a year before Flori and Marcus. My first year, I was working kind of in a similar role that Marcus is doing now. I was in customer solutions, which is all about it's like central IT. And then this year, I've done it a bit differently. For 6 months, I was working in our healthcare sector within the clinical trials space, doing a lot of testing and test management, that kind of thing. But for the last couple months and until September, I'm on a new placement. I'm shadowing the CEO. So I'm kind of not massively super, I'm not completely in IT anymore. I'm not out of IT. I'm just a bit general at the minute. That's very interesting. I got into logistics again. I kind of fell into it. I knew all about DHL, but I didn't know what I wanted to do after uni. I did a degree in accounting and finance, but I never really saw myself doing that. So then when this grad scheme opened up and I didn't have to have an IT background, it was really interesting to me. So really glad I'm doing it. I'm definitely going to have my career in logistics. It's very interesting, very niche, but what I like most about it is how different it is. Every customer is different, every site's different, and especially like having more technological things in different warehouses. It's really cool to see.
And I love that, the kind of being not in IT, not out of IT, because it's the thread that pulls everything together, isn't it? You know, nothing is out of IT in a modern workplace, never mind a modern logistics workplace. So yeah, I think that is a really good take. And you had said you had done an accounting and finance degree, and I completely forgot to ask Flori and Marcus what degrees they'd studied. Flori, what did you study?
I did data science and statistics, so I always wanted to be data focused. So that's why I kind of said at the end, my favorite part that I've been doing at the moment is Power BI, anything data related, because that is where I want my career to go. And logistics has so much data, like never ending. So it's a perfect place for me on
It
that
does.
front. But yeah.
And I guess for those listening, Power BI is a bit like Excel on steroids.
Yeah, I would put, yeah.
But a
But at
really
that.
good, a really well-known tool, as Flori said. When you're in the sector, which we hope lots of you will be, you will become very familiar with it. Marcus, what
Definitely.
did you study?
So I did a master's in computer science and information security. So my role at the moment is still close enough to information security, but not directly involved. But with the registers, the security team use them quite often because they need to know what product and is that where. So obviously talk to them and then close communications with them. So I want to say it's directly cybersecurity, but it is
Mm.
working alongside them, let's say.
Definitely. And as Catherine said, that's the beauty of the scheme. You don't have to have an IT background. It's all of those bits that we taught. It's that sort of passion, I think, for data and for learning and for continuous improvement. So yes, lovely to see lots of different backgrounds all coming in to a global organization, which of course is super attractive for lots of people. Florrie, I'm going to come to you first. What innovations have you seen in the sort of digital and tech space that have made you say, wow?
So, I mean, you mentioned quite a few at the beginning in terms of, the robots in the warehouse and all of that. But whilst things that I've actually been involved in, I would say one that I was really interested in was the robotic process automation, or the RPA, introduction to the warehouse management systems, and how we can actually try and adopt that within our warehouse management systems. And I just thought that was really cool because, I mean, a bot doing all of the the menial tasks that you don't really want to do. And I just thought, implementing that would be a great idea. And now with agentic AI as well coming in, I mean, that could actually take over RPAs. Instead of RPAs doing it, we'll have the agentic AI things doing it instead. So I just thought, even though the focus was going there, I mean, DHL saw that the world is now changing and going to agentic AI. And so they were like, well, actually, scrap that. We'll move on to the next best thing. And just that willingness to always keep moving forward in terms of technology. I mean, I just think it's great. So I guess it's not just one thing, it's more of a culture of innovation. So I would say those two, and then also just my supply chain. I mean, the customer solutions aspect, always making sure that they've got good in-house solutions that can help with customers and getting that customer satisfaction.
You'd mentioned AI potentially taking some of those more menial jobs away. Sometimes we get asked, well, does that mean that we won't have jobs in the future? Do you think AI will come in and take all of our jobs in logistics?
They're definitely not. We're not even close to that ever happening. And I don't think it ever will, but we're definitely far from that. It just takes away that time. I mean, even me playing around with the WMS systems, it's very repetitive, some of it. So if you've got something else doing it, then you can focus on other, maybe more productive work. I just don't think that is anything anybody should be concerned about right now. And there's that quote that one of our managers uses. It's if you're not using AI, somebody who is will take your job instead of you losing your job. So yeah, it's like that. But yeah, don't worry about that at all.
Yeah, we're working with it rather than for it.
Yes, exactly, exactly. But
I love that. And yeah, so much change. We've talked quite a lot this week over around the fact that we can't really tell the young people what their jobs are going to look like in 5 years' time, because we don't know ourselves. You've just said they're moving from bots to AI. That's been a big shift. Those shifts sort of keep happening. So a very exciting time to be in the sector, particularly in digital tech, I imagine.
Thank you.
We'll keep on that theme, I think, Marcus. Can you tell us about a new idea or a tool that's made a big difference to the way that you work?
Yes, I would say a tool that's made a big difference to the way I work would definitely be Microsoft Copilot. So I've used it quite a lot in terms of being able to ask it questions. So more relating to non-technical people, even though I am quite technical, but some of the stuff that I do requires me to do things that's outside of my technical remit. So I'm able to ask Microsoft Copilot some questions. For example, I know Flori does a lot of Power BI, but I also have to do it in my role as well. So I may ask it some Power BI questions and it will be able to help me with the answer, and I'm able to reword it depending on what the requirements of my question is. So I would say that is a massive tool that's helping me quite a bit. And it doesn't take any technical knowledge at all to use Microsoft Copilot. You can just ask it a question no matter however you want to ask, and it will give you an answer.
And nobody's kind of looking over your shoulder saying, hang on a moment, that's cheating.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, well, as
It's
we've
really
said,
good.
we're working with it. It helps us, doesn't it? I think.
Exactly.
Certainly ChatGPT I use in my role to, kind of, as you say, ask questions, get a different perspective, get a different point of view, which is, hugely helpful. So, and important, I think, to think about those non-technical people as well. You don't necessarily have to be an expert in every single technology that an organization might use, because that's what training's there for. And whether that's people doing the training or indeed working alongside some of those new technologies. Thank you.
Exactly. No worries.
Catherine, 1 foot in digital, 1 foot out of digital. I love that. How have people or things, who or what, has helped you to navigate that changing world of digital technology?
I would say, so first off, I'm not a technical person. My brain just doesn't work like that. So things like Copilot and like generative AI, that's been super helpful for me because everything is new to me. When I say I'm not technical, I can literally barely use my laptop. So because our industry is quite niche, and even if you studied like anything technical related at uni, they're not going to teach you how to use a warehouse management system. You're going to have to get trained on that anyway. So no matter what you have to do, someone's there to teach you, because they don't hire you to know everything. They like wanted to develop you and teach you. But I've been really fortunate, and I've had some incredible people help me out. I've got some really good mentors, and especially I've got some really good female mentors, which is really important because this is quite a male-dominated industry, which is something that's changing. But it's just nice to have good role models to look up to and people who really take an interest. Then also, not just that, but the fact that everyone takes an interest, especially like on this grad scheme, like the opportunities you have are crazy. And so I've had mentoring by the Chief Information Officer. He's been really helpful, just kind of shedding light on different technologies and how to use it. And when I first came in, I was very, I don't know what the word is, but I was very like apprehensive because I didn't have the skills I thought I needed. But it's more about just a willingness to learn. And then even now that I'm shadowing the CEO, like that's a crazy opportunity, which is not lost on me. So I'm very, very lucky and very grateful. But it's just interesting to see how from a top level they influence technology changes, how they talk about technology in the changing world. And it's just about being able to adapt to things and not being scared of it. It's been very interesting.
That is fantastic. Being adaptable and not scared of things, I think, is an absolute top tip, which we will come to now, if I may. For people thinking about following in your footsteps, what top tip would you give them, Florrie?
Kind of following from what Catherine's just said, what my main point of advice would be is, even if you do not have a technical background, I mean, even though I have a background in data science, it doesn't correlate at all. I mean, I had to sit down and learn everything from scratch, and it's people are willing to help. So I just don't think ever be off put by anything saying IT. You know, you immediately assume that it's technical. And also within IT, you have those opportunities to branch outside of IT, and you have that network, especially with DHL and any big logistics company. It taps on every aspect of business and operations, and you can just, especially, I mean, I don't know if I'm just lucky on the grad scheme that they allow you to have such a good overview, but I'm just saying, don't be afraid. You can swap into anything if you find it interesting. If you want to go into HR, finance, you have all of those abilities to do any of that. But I just say, don't be scared if it's anything technical and you don't have a technical background. Just go in head first. Don't worry about it.
Definitely. I love that. The skill shortage that we have in the sector, because nobody knows about it, gives us that opportunity to step in and move around if that's what we want to do, you know, find the bit that suits us the best. So yes, don't be frightened of it. Top tip. Marcus, what would you say to people maybe following in your footsteps?
I would say kind of similar to Flores, but when I want to specify a bit more of don't be scared of it, I would say definitely don't be scared of AI
Mm,
because of AI is your oyster to everything. You ask it any question you want, anything you think of, and I would say, yeah, you can definitely get an answer from it. And if you don't like the answer, you can always go back. You don't have a limited amount of tries. So yeah, I'll just say top tip is to use AI. Don't let it run away from you. Use it to your advantage. Let it be your best friend. Let it be your mentor. Let it be anything you could think of. Let AI help you with that. So that'll be my top tip.
passionate advocacy there. Thank you. Catherine, anything you'd like to add?
I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm gonna say top tip is like more mindset.
Mm,
Like there's nothing that you can't learn, and I always have in my head like what's the worst that can happen? Just apply for everything. I mean, there are so many industries and so many interesting things which I'm still not aware of, and it's only really like by just applying for everything and putting your hat in the ring that you're going to get these amazing opportunities. And like just personally, I never saw myself in IT, but now I'm in it, I'm really happy. There's so many opportunities, but if you told me 3 years ago that this is what I'd be doing, I wouldn't even consider it. So yeah, apply for everything and just genuinely, what's the worst that can happen?
yeah, keep an open mind. What's the worst that can happen? What a brilliant note to end on. Thank you all very much. And thank you to everyone joining us for Technology Tuesday. We hope that you've managed to have a glimpse into that exciting, fast moving world of tech in logistics, whether it's coding smart systems, using data to solve those real world problems, or working with the cutting edge tools like AI and automation. There's loads happening behind the scenes. And as we've talked about, a growing need for fresh ideas and digital talent like we've had with us today. So thank you all very much. And audience, we will see you again tomorrow.